Hey everyone, welcome back to 996. The Howl Utah Mammoth win 6-3 against the Seattle Kraken. They are 5-0-1 on this 7-game homestand. Unbelievable. I said before the homestand started that Utah needed to win at least 5 games if they were serious about playoff contention. I didn't think they could do it, and they did it. They're also on a 7-game point streak. They're playing their best hockey of the season, even better than that 7-game win streak earlier in the season from games 3 to 10, which seems like a lifetime ago. Great stuff by the Utah Mammoth. This was an afternoon game against Seattle, and it sure looked like it. Utah was a bit lackadaisical to start this game, especially in the first minute of the game where they were outshot 4-0. And Seattle scores the first goal of the game to make it 1-0. It was a slot shot that gets past Vejmelka, but earlier in the sequence, Vejmelka feels like or looks like he makes a save, but he doesn't make the save. It trickles by him. He's unconfident of where the puck is. Seattle corrals the puck behind the net and gets the puck to the slot to make it 1-0. Thankfully, 2.5 minutes later, Utah goes on a penalty kill, and they tie it up short-handed to make it 1-1. This was a really sick passing play by 3 non-skilled players. It starts with Ian Cole grabbing the puck from the neutral zone into the O zone, stopping up and finding the trailing Lawson Krause. A cross ice, crisp, complete, tape to tape pass to find Krause. And then Krause has that offensive awareness to realize the defender in front of him is actually a forward. Because Seattle was on the power play, everyone does a 4 forward, 1 defenseman configuration. So he does like a fake shot deke around the forward and finds Stenlin with an open net tap in to make it 1-1. And then on that same penalty kill, Utah commits another penalty. So they got to kill off a minute and a half, 5-on-3. They kill it off. Great defending, great saves by Vejmelka. The crowd is loud and proud for killing off the 5-on-3. Utah was outshot 10-1 in the first 8 minutes of the first period. There's also another Seattle shot that gets through Vejmelka's 5-hole. Again, not confident where the puck is when it touches him. He feels like it goes in the net. It squeaks through his 5-hole, through the crease, and into the corner of the D zone. Thankfully, Utah starts to stack shift after shift of offensive pressure. It starts with the Gunther line, who pushes back with a great shift. There is a McBain one-timer on that same shift in the slot that gets denied by Grubauer. Then the Peterka line, they have 2 slot shot attempts, and they can't buy a goal. Hayden in the crease trying to find a loose change. He can't score. It sucks that I can't call these lines second line, third line, because no one knows what second line and third line is. When I say that, officially the Utah Twitter says Peterka, Hayden, and Boot is second line. But in reality, the Gunther, McBain, Carconi line plays more minutes, so that is probably the second line. So I'm going to have to call these lines the Gunther line and the Peterka line. Later in the first period, Krause dangles the goaltender out of his pants and tries to put the puck in the crease, but Schmaltz can't connect the puck and put it into the open net. So they go into the second period tied 1-1. Shots were also tied 12-12. So from that 10-1 shot differential mark, 8 minutes into the first, the shots were 11-2 in favor of Utah after that. So we go into the second period, and my notes for the second period was continue what you built in the last half of that first period. And obviously, stay disciplined. Seattle, one of the best power play teams in the league. And 30 seconds into the second period, Utah scores to take the lead to make it 2-1. It's a Nate Schmidt slap shot from great pressure from the Gunther line, great forechecking, sustained offensive zone pressure and possession. This slap shot by Nate Schmidt, it like teleports from his stick into the net. I've rewatched this goal numerous times. I can't even see the puck when it leaves Nate Schmidt's stick. That could be due to the bad quality of NHL broadcast, but it just spawns into the back of the net. A great slap shot by Nate Schmidt. And then 4 minutes later, Utah makes it 3-1. Another Nate Schmidt slap shot from the point, misses the net, but it hits the backboards and finds Nick Schmaltz's stick in the slot. It's Nick Schmaltz's office, and he scores to make it 3-1. Since that 8-minute mark in the first, where Utah was outshot 10-1, Utah was out shooting Seattle 13-2 at the 7-minute mark of the second period. They go into some penalty trouble, but they have a big kill on that penalty kill, and there's 2 shorthanded 2-on-1s. There is a Schmaltz Marino 2-on-1 and a Stenlund, Krause 2-on-1, but both of those were broken up by the defense of Seattle. Stenlund trying to return the favor to Krause on that second shorthanded 2-on-1. Then Utah goes on the power play. PP1 stinks to the high heavens. They get pulled off, but PP2 has a glorious chance. Barrett Hayden finds Carcone at the side of the net. It is a wide open net. 99 out of 100 times this puck goes into the net, and Grubauer with an unbelievable desperation pad save on Carcone. Carcone doesn't score, and this could have been the turning point of the game because Seattle scores back-to-back goals in 2.5 minutes right after this huge save and after the PK. Seattle gained momentum after killing off that penalty, and they scored their first goal to make it 3-2. Was a shot that, again, gets through Vejmelka. Vejmelka very shaky in this game, and Seattle puts the puck in the net from the crease. And then the second goal, a Seattle player very easily walks around Sergachev alone on Vejmelka and puts it 5-hole. So we go into the third, tied 3-3. Just that 2-goal lead evaporates really quickly. You don't like to see that. You don't love it. And you wish Carcone did score that goal to make it 4-1. The shots were 7-7 in that second period. So we go into the third period. I felt that they needed to play with way more urgency. They let the game get away from them in just about 2 or 3 shifts. So we go into the third period. There's a nice Krause chance. He tips it in the crease, but he can't score. And then Seattle misses a point-blank slot shot that they completely missed the net. This was a dangerous shot attempt, but thankfully they do miss the net. Then Utah goes on the power play, and there's even a broken stick on the power play 10 seconds into it. So it's pretty much a 5-on-3 for PP1. And it's just awful. They pass around the puck for 35 seconds, and then it's a lazy point shot by Sergachev, and the goalie saves it, smothers it for a whistle, and it's back to 5-on-4 with 4 sticks for Seattle. So they don't score on it. Man, this power play, I'm tired. Like, it's been awful for like 39 games now, and they just don't seem to care. They kind of don't even need it either. The way they play 5-on-5, they're just so dominant. And Seattle had 0 shots on goal for the first 10 minutes of this third period. Utah outshooting them 6-0 in the third. This was a great period and a great rebound from the last few minutes of the second period. But Seattle's first shot of the period, and pretty much their only shot of the period, they only had 2 shots in the third period, but their first one and most dangerous shot, it was a Seattle 2-on-1. The Seattle player makes a nice deke move to get alone on Vejmelka, and Vejmelka makes a huge save here, one of his most important saves in this game, because right after making that save, 4 minutes later, 5.5 minutes left in the third, Utah scores back-to-back goals to win the game. The first one is Nate Schmidt. He's all alone by himself entering the O-zone. He does a dump and chase. He doesn't dump and change. He follows the puck, puts pressure on the Seattle defender. The Seattle defender, with Nate Schmidt's pressure, haphazardly throws the puck behind the Seattle goal. It hits a ref skate, finds Keller, and Schmidt skates from that offensive zone forecheck pressure to the slot, and Keller finds him for a one-timer in the slot to make it 4-3. That's Nate Schmidt's second goal of the game. And then 40 seconds later, Utah makes it 5-3. It's Lawson Krause from Keller and Schmidt again. Schmidt with 4 points on the night. That's his second career 4-point game. And it's pretty much the same exact goal. Keller has it at the half boards and finds Krause in the same spot Schmidt was in. Both times those players were uncovered and they unleashed shots past the goaltender. So great job by Utah just getting into that high danger area. We saw it on the Schmaltz goal as well. Going into that high danger area where most of the time you should be scoring. Earlier in the season, Utah maybe wasn't scoring on these, but it seems like on this homestand, Utah is finally executing on these plays and scoring. There's an empty net, 3 minutes left in the game by Seattle, and Barrett Hayden gets his first goal in 14 games, assisted by Marino and Vejmelka, and they win 6-3. They outshot Seattle 11-2 in that third period. I think earlier in the season, Utah would have lost this game, or it would have went into overtime, but they really just turned the game around and unlocked another gear throughout the game, and they had 67% of 5-on-5 possession in that third period. Overall, they outshot Seattle 30-21. Power play 0-for-2, always 0-for-2, and PK perfect 3 for 3. Great stuff by the PK. Faceoffs, 53%. Schmidt with 4 points. Krause with 3 points. They're loving it. They're playing a great string of games here. The Utah Mammoth are. They got one more game at home against Philadelphia, and then it's a 4-game road trip, and then a 3-game homestand before the Olympic break. So there's only 8 games left. So for me, you try to win against Philadelphia. It's going to be a very playoff implicated game against Nashville next Saturday. So probably you should win that one. And then those 3 games on the road trip against back-to-back in Florida, Tampa and Florida, and then a Carolina game. Try to win against Nashville and then just get 1 win against those 3 Eastern teams. Go 2 for 2 on the road trip. You've earned it. You don't need to play amazing on those, Eastern games. You can let points go. You've built yourself a cushion. They need to lose. You can't go undefeated for the rest of the season. So try to go 2 for 2 on that 4-game road trip, and then you get 3 games at home to gobble up more points. But they're playing such good hockey, and it's been a long time coming. It was like a 30-game stretch of just up and down, win, lose, and finally they're getting points on the board with a 7-game point streak. So that's it for me. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, spread the word. And as always, thank you for your support.